What up, what up? What's going on? What's going on? Show the hood by air real quick. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. Alright. I was meditating in the woods yesterday. And one thing I always get from my meditation, every time I come out of meditation, it always reminds me of how, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, how much, when you meditate, you realize the definition of identity. I feel like a lot of times in this life that we live, because of societal things, because of cultural things, because of family traditions, our own hang-ups and opinions, we have such a strict foundation on that we include that as our identity, and we stand up for it, and we go to war for it. But I really realize, like, in meditation, what you realize is that you really are everything and nothing at the same time as me. And the reason why I say that is that, okay, think about it, right? There are a lot of thoughts that go throughout your head every day, but you wouldn't, good and bad, very messed up thoughts, very pleasant thoughts, but you wouldn't, and I mean, I guess messed up is, I guess that's, selective, or, what might be messed up for you might not be messed up, to somebody else. So I guess that's just, based on opinion in the person. But at the end of the day, I feel like we all have very, good and bad thoughts. Whether you want to deem whatever you feel is good and bad, that's just up to you. But I feel like there is a multitude of thoughts that go through our head every day. And if we was to literally say that every thought that we had is our identity, we would be crazy. And I feel like a lot of times that's what actually does lead to mental illness and certain things. It's probably a person thinking, like, I have to identify with every thought that comes into my head, not knowing that your brain picks up on a multitude of things, not knowing that your brain is dealing with a wide range of just stimulation and memories. So for me to say that, I am this one thought, to me, I would feel like that's kind of stupid and ignorant to think that. To me, the closest thing you can get to an identity is a pattern. What have I been doing in a pattern to solidify myself in an identity? To me, the closest thing you can have to an identity is, just your patterns, your routines. But it's not even your memories. Because think about this, like, we're not the same person as we was yesterday. You live, you grow. If you're really out here living life, you're growing and you're expanding yourself. So every day you're changing. And I feel like, to me, when I think about identity, I'm thinking of, like, when I think of identity, I do think of something that's very, like, strict. I don't think it's interchangeable. I think, like, okay, if you have an identity, you have now, like, solidified yourself into one, like, I'm standing on this is who I am. But if you live life long enough, you'll realize, like, damn, I thought that's who I was, but then I got this information and I'm no longer that. So that means that your identity is subject to change. I remember a couple of days ago, I was speaking on how your truth can change, how, you live in life. I feel like a lot of terms, I feel like, to me, I'm just speaking for myself, the way they were projecting onto me when I was coming up, or just in the life, it's like, things like identity, things like a word like identity, a term like truth. To me, when I hear those words, it's like they're not changed. Like they're not subject for change. It's things that are just like laws, like law of gravity. Like there's no change in it. Like, but to me, it's like if you live life long enough, everything changes. Like, I'm pretty sure the things, if you was born in the 80s, I was born in the 90s. There's things in the 90s that's not going on in 2024. You know what I mean? Like, dressing a certain way, all types of stuff. Like, what? How I'm dressed right now? Man, I would be getting called gay and everything. Now, look, this fashion. Now it's called, like, but when I was wearing this, I was getting made fun of. I was getting picked on. Now, everybody dressing like it. So it's like everything is subject to change. So if I was to just base my identity and their opinions on me at that time, I would have went crazy and would have been depressed. But it's me having a strong enough will, me having a strong enough value of self, and knowing my true identity and knowing that anything is up for change. You know what I'm saying? To know, like, man, fuck what them people thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do me. I'm going to express my identity the way I want to. So to me, it's like identity is nothing more than, to me, like your core values. But even your core values are due to change. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's just my little, I wouldn't say even a rant, but that's kind of like my breakdown on identity. I do feel that identity is not really it's not a set in stone type of thing. To me, it should change. You should change. You should change for the better. You should look at yourself a couple months from now and being like, damn, I'm not the same. Like, I done leveled up in some ways, you know? It doesn't have to be material wise. It can be, you know what I'm saying, mentally. You know, I feel like we all just go through these different identities, and you should never get fixed on one identity. You should always be able to expand yourself. You should always be able to incorporate all the elements of self. Oh, I don't like that part of myself. I don't like that part of my identity, so we just gonna act like that don't exist. Nah, incorporate it. See how it can work for you. See if you need to throw it away. That's it. That's my little 2 cents on identity real quick. I might go further more on this topic, but I'm headed to an appointment. So, y'all be easy.